Hello dear soulmates and welcome back. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning the easiest way of drafting a suit sleeve. Kindly watch this video to the end and don't forget to subscribe. Bye! Okay guys, it's time to actually draft our sleeve. Yes, the jacket sleeve. So I actually thought to bring the hand of a mannequin to actually show you something. Now this is the hand of a mannequin, and when you actually look at it, it wants to look like the human arm. There's no way I can put my arm on the table, so that's actually had to bring this to show you. Now one thing you should know is that the human hand is not straight. That's our arm is not straight, it's slightly bent, tilted towards the front. So when you want to take your measurement for the sleeve, you want to go in from where the armhole is starting from over, and then you just take it like this towards that bent part, like this to the end. So for me now, my length sleeve that I'm working with is 23.5. Of course, you don't want your jacket sleeve to be hanging. It's not professional. Having done that now, you also want to take your round sleeve. So you want to take the round sleeve. It should not be too tight. You want to take your elbow. You want to also take your wrist circumference. You can also proceed to taking your round armhole circumference like this. So now I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, that the human arm is not bent. So the jacket sleeve actually takes the form of the human arm. So I'll be showing you how to draft this. So all right, now I'm just going to take the hand and proceed with our drafting. So the measurements for the drafting, I just showed you how to take it. You need your round sleeve, you need your sleeve length. For the sleeve length, I need your long length sleeve, and sorry, your from your shoulder to your wrist, and then from your shoulder to the elbow. So for me now, I'll be using 23.5, which I've actually gone ahead to mark up. Before you do that now, you want to leave a margin at the top part of this paper, about half an inch or 1 inch, and then from that point now, that will be your starting point. You mark out your sleeve length. Now the next thing you want to do now is to, so let me just highlight this using my marker before we proceed. So this is my starting point, like this. Okay, now the next thing we want to do, we want to get our cap height. Now to get your cap height now, you need your full bust circumference. Now my full bust circumference is, if I divide 35, you need to divide it by 35 divided by 12 plus 1 inch. So when I divide this now, I would have 2.9 plus 1, which will give me 3.9. I can just approximate it to 4.0. This is how to calculate your cap height, and it actually works for everybody. So I'll be using 4.0 here now for my cap height. Just draw this and mark it across. So we have our cap height here. Now the next thing you want to do is, remember that on our main pattern, that's our bodice pattern, we divided our bust circumference by 6 plus 1.5, that's to get our chest line. We'll also be repeating the same measurement here. So when I divided my bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1, I had 7.3. So I'm going to repeat in the 7.3 here, and then I'll connect it to the sleeve head like this. This is also a simple method of drafting out your basic sleeve. This is how we are drafting our basic sleeve first. Now when you're done now, you want to mark out your sleeve head to your elbow. So the sleeve head to my elbow is 13 inches. And this 13 inches is like a standard for everybody, but then you want to still go ahead and take your own accurate measurement. So this is the 13 inches here. So this is the elbow line. Now on this line that we connected from the cap height to the sleeve head, you want to take the width or the length of it I have 8.5 here now. This 8.5 now, you divide it into 2, like so. That's to you get the midpoint. And on the midpoint now, you want to come down by half inch, like this. I'm just going to root down my half inch. So this is going to serve as a guide for my sleeve. So I'm going to bring in my curve. Can you see? Can I use any curve actually? Then I'll connect it. The first one will be for the back. I'll be connecting the back and front like this. So I'm just going to go ahead now. Remember that our back is always longer than our front. So I connected the first one. And I'll just turn my sleeve, sorry, my curve like this. And connect this. I put the same thing for the back. I'm connecting it to, sorry, for the front to the half inch we made like this. And then I'll still flip it over and connect it to the end of the sleeve. So we have our sleeve. So this is the back and this is what I'll be tracing it out later, so you don't need to just worry. Now, on the elbow line, you want to divide your round elbow circumference. This is the round elbow, and like I showed you already on the mannequin, this part, you want to take the measurement and then divide it into 2. And whatever you have, you input it in here. Now, because I'll be working with a jacket sleeve, I don't want it too tight. So I'll be using 6.25. You don't want it too tight, but then you don't want it too big either. So normally my round elbow is 12, but I just added that 0.25, let's say as is. And then on the wrist line now, the it is 5 or 10 inches. When I divide it by 2, I'll get 5. So I'll still go ahead and add that 0.25 to it for ease. Yes. And then I'll first of all connect it using a straight line first, like this, and then I'll proceed to using this my wonderful curve to connect it from the elbow line to the cap height, like this. So I think I'll just need to just sharpen this a bit, this down part a bit, so that it comes out nice like this. So now I haven't gotten it, I'll just use my marker to highlight this part out. So you don't want to use a straight curve for this part unless you are working with the Christian sleeve or the Christian mother sleeve. Yes. So we have our full basic sleeve now. You can see drafting the basic sleeve is quite easy. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to trace out this, so you have the full sleeve pattern. So now you should just start tracing. Use your tracing wheel to trace this part out. So I'm going to be tracing both out, and I'll determine which one I want to cut out for the back and the front. So I've traced it out now, so I'll just proceed to cut. Now, please note that I left some space at this part. You would get to know why when we move on with our drafting. So I'm just going to cut out this part now. So I'll open it up now and So I later ended up using this part as the back pattern. So we just want to select, because I traced out the back. So having done that now, the next thing you want to do, so we've moved on to our drafting our jacket sleeve. So this one, so you want to get the midpoint like this. The midpoint of the sleeve is very important. So I'm just going to just rule out the midpoint like this. So please note that I'm using this part as the back. So I'm going as the back and this part as the front. So once you've done that now you want to take your pattern. See that I'm taking my pattern like this. Just have to flip this over so you'll be able to see. Now you want to fold it into four like this. Can you see? Now ensure that they are aligning at the down parts. Yes, you don't really need to align it, but just ensure that they align at first. We want to get a straight line for our sleeve. So align at the down part, like so they're actually aligning. So to get that crease line now, so once you're done, you just want to go ahead and open it up like this. So you can see my crease lines. Can you see? Then you want to go ahead and just rule them out. So we have like four lines now in equal places. So the best is just to fold your pattern so I'll be able to actually get it accurately. Now once you're done, okay, I'll just want to go ahead and highlight the middle part. So once you're done now, you want to come to this line. So I'm using the back part now. Now at this line now, you want to take out your dart. Now you can use 0.5, you can use 1 inch depending on how bent the arm is. So on this line now, this wrist line now, I'm going to take out 1 inch on both sides of this line. So 1 inch here and 1 inch here. This is like a dart kind of. Now you see this 1 inch now, you are going to connect it into the elbow line like this. This is like a simple way of making a sleeve, the sleeve of a jacket. So can you see? So I've connected it into the elbow line like this. Can you see? So all these parts now, they are actually going out. Can you see? They are going out like this. So it's like a dart. By the time you hold it now, you have your sleeve and it should be fitted and nice. Now you see this 1 inch now, we have to return it back. If not, if you would have realized that we've taken out of our measurement if you don't return it back. So you see, you're going to replace the 1 inch here. Let me just extend this line like this. So you're going to place the 1 inch. Remember we took out 2 inches, so you're going to place 1 inch like this and then connect it into the elbow line also like this. Please do not forget to return it. If not, you'll be having shortage on your sleeve. And then You come to this part also and return the 1 inch we also took, like this, and then you connect it back into the elbow. Now if you actually used 0.5, is 0.5 you'll be what, returning on both sides of the sleeve. So you can see this is pretty simple, and then we just proceed to cutting this out. So you're cutting from that 1 inch extension, like this. And you're also cutting from this 1 inch extension. Remember that this is our front. So and this is the back. So I want to even indicate, use an arrow to indicate the front and the back, like that. So then proceed to cutting out the dart, like this. I just hope you are taking notes. Yes, I really hope you are. Then I'll just take out the dart here. So we have our jacket sleeve now, and by the time you join it together, it would be so lovely.